Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to sublimate on jumbo paper clips. I've been seeing this project going around online, so I'm really excited to try it out for myself. These would make adorable gifts, especially with back to school season coming up. They're perfect for teachers or honestly anyone who loves cute office supplies. I'll be using this in my own office or for my kids. If you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribed, and let's get into the video. I'm in Creative Fabrica. This is the digital paper that I found that I'm going to be using for the paper clips. At first, I thought about doing a back to school theme, and over in Creative Fabrica, they have so many cute digital paper for that. There's just tons of different options to choose from, but I really liked this other one, so I'm just gonna go with this one. I get the majority of my SVGs, PNGs, fonts, things like that from Creative Fabrica. I always have a link for it down in my description box. I pay for the membership, but I pay for it yearly, so it only comes out to $3.99 a month, which is such a good deal, so it's so worth it to me. You can try it out for free, which is really nice too. I'm in Cricut Design Space. You can upload these images as a pattern, but I already tried that, and for some reason the image was stretched out, so I'm going to do it a different way. I've already uploaded these, so I'll pull it into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to make them all around 4.5 inches. I might end up having to make them bigger, but we'll just try that for now. I just love how bright and colorful these are. Now I'm going to grab a shape. The paper clips are 4 inches by 2 inches, but I want enough paper to make sure I don't have any ghosting or anything like that. So I think I'm going to add 1 inch for the width and height. I'll come up here, and for my width, I'm going to do 3 inches. And then I'll do by 5 inches. If you've noticed, they've changed Cricut Design Space a little bit. They do it all the time, but I actually kind of like this change. Now what I'm going to do is slice this rectangle out of each pattern. I think I'll start with the smiley faces. I am going to bring the square to the back, and I'll show you why in a second. I also need to make this bigger. I don't know why I did 4.5 inches when this is 5. Let's make this 6 inches for the width and try that. The reason why I placed this behind is because I'm able to see the outline of the rectangle, and I can decide where I want to slice it out. I'm trying to kind of line this up with how I want the pattern to look. The paper clip is going to be a little bit smaller, so I do have to keep that in mind. Okay, I moved it over a little bit. What I'm going to do is highlight over this pattern paper and the rectangle. You can see they're both selected in the layers panel. Then I'll come down here and select slice. Now I can drag this out of here, and that looks really great. This was 6.25, so I'm going to try to make the others that size and see how that looks. I think that looks good. I'll select slice. Then I'll grab the next one. This one's kind of tricky. I'm trying to decide where I want this to be. Maybe we'll try that. Here's the last one. Okay, now I can just delete all of these. I have my 4 patterns ready, so I'll click the make button. To not waste paper, I think I'm just gonna make 3 of these. I was hoping they would all 4 fit on one page. Obviously they don't. If I was using Canva, they might, but I think I'll just do these 3. I'll hit continue, send to printer. I'm going to choose my sublimation printer. I'll turn off the bleed and turn on my use system dialog. The bleed gives it a fuzzy border, so you definitely want to turn that off. With these paper clips, you don't mirror them, so I don't want to use my last use settings. I'm just going to go to default. Then I'll go down to my printer options. For color matching, I'm just going to keep it color sync automatic. For print settings, I'm going to switch this to the premium presentation paper matte. I want high quality, and normally I would select mirror image, but I'm not going to this time. Now this should be ready. I'll hit print. I'm using my Epson Echo Tank. The model I have is the 2760. This is actually an inkjet printer, but you can put sublimation in it to begin with and use it as a sublimation printer. I'm using A-sub paper for this. I also turn off my fast speed printing, so this prints very slowly. The color is going to look pretty dull at first, but don't panic if you see that. Once it's heated through, it will become more bright and vibrant. As you can see, this last design is a different one. I decided last minute not to do the smiley faces because I wasn't sure how well that would show up on the thin paper clips. You can have your Cricut machine cut out the rectangles, but I found it faster to just take scissors and do it. The edges don't have to be perfectly straight because we're not going to be sublimating right there. I'll be using my auto heat press 2 machine. I set my temperature to 385 degrees. I'm going to keep the time at 60 seconds and I'll increase the pressure to the highest setting, which is 170 pounds. The paper clips have a clear protective film on both sides. I'm just going to remove one side for now, and that is the sublimation side. It is a white matte finish. It's hard to tell on camera, but in person you'll be able to clearly see which side is white. You'll want to place the white side face down on the sublimation paper. I also make sure to line it up kind of where I want the design to be on the paper clip. One thing I noticed with the middle one is the flower design is really big, so it's not going to show up that great on it, so I'm glad I didn't end up doing the smiley faces. A smaller, busier pattern might work better for these. What do you guys think? I'm going to tape these down so they stay in place. I prefer the wider tape for these. It makes it a little easier, and I just put one on the top and bottom. Then you'll want to flip it around and have it face down. I also like to place this on white cardstock. As you can see, when doing sublimation projects, I've forgotten to do that before, and I've gotten ink on my heat mat. I place a Teflon sheet on top. I really should have used butcher paper. That's what you're supposed to with sublimation, but I couldn't find my butcher paper. I push the tray into the heat press and it will heat it for the 60 seconds. How many of you have been doing sublimation projects lately? I kind of took a break with sublimation for a little bit, but after doing these paper clips, it was really fun, so I kind of want to get back into doing more of these. I saw online people were putting something heavy on these after they heated it and before removing the paper. I'm not sure why. If anybody knows, let us know in the comments, but I did it for a couple minutes and kind of pressed on the heat press. Let it cool down all the way, then I went in and took off the paper. As I was taking the paper and tape off, that clear protective sheet just picked up with everything else, so I removed those at the same time. You can tell that it sublimated well when the majority of the ink is gone from the paper. When you look at the sublimated side, it's going to be matte and a little bit dull, but when you flip it over to the acrylic side, look how bright and colorful it is. This design didn't work out as well as the other two, but I have a quick hack I want to show you. What you can do is go to Amazon. This is the jumbo paper clips I bought, and this is one of the images. What I'm going to do is select Shift-Command-4 on my Mac computer, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this paper clip. I'm going to save it to my photos, then pull it over to my downloads folder. Then I'll go to remove.bg and I'm going to remove the background. You can do this in Cricut Design Space, but I think this does it a little better. Then under my uploads, I'll upload that into Design Space. Now, let's say we want to try one of these smaller ones and see if they work well. I'm going to pull that into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to make it smaller. Looking at the size the paper clip pulled in, it's actually the size of the paper clip, about 2x4, so that's good. I'm going to line this up on here. Let's just try that. Then I'm going to slice it out. How cool is that? Now you have an idea of what this would look like on the paper clip. Here's another look at the paper clips. These were so much fun to make and they were really quick and easy. I have these pages to help my daughter read. I've had it in a folder, but this would be perfect for the jumbo paper clip. Look how cute it looks. I also saw somebody use it as a gift card holder for a teacher. So lots of fun things you can do with this. It could even be a bookmark. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I would also love it if you subscribed if you are new, and I'll see you in my next one.